Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Christian and welcome back to another rfonline PlayPark video. We are now back in the Bellato Union and this is the ProtoNexus server. So for today's video, I'm going to share to you what I think are the pros and cons of the Bellato Berserker, because I've had this character for already like almost 3 months. So let me tell you what I think of it. But first, 90% of the viewers aren't even subscribed to the channel yet, so why don't you go ahead and drop a like and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a few moments and it will help out the channel a lot. So with that said, let's get started. First, let's talk about the pros of the Bellato Berserker. Let's go to the class skills. First, there's Howl. It increases your attack. Very basic. But the other class skill which makes the Berserker special is actually this one, Beast Eye. It increases your attack and dodge. It increases it by 15 dodge. Not so much, but this means that you can either play your Berserker as a def build or a dodge build. And since it is a class skill, it won't be debuffed with individual cancellation, so you'll always have your buff with you. Compared to Rangers and Gunners of Korra and Akrisha, they can be debuffed. For Bellato Union, you won't be debuffed, right? So that's one pro. It's very versatile. Next up, we'll talk about the other class skill, which is exclusive to the Berserker, which is the Double Crush. It's your attack skill, and I think it's almost as strong as an expert skill like Cloud Chop or Death Blow, right? But the thing I like about the Double Crush is the very short cooldown. It's only 5 seconds, so it's spammable. It's good for DPS, right? You can throw in a lot more spells. Compared to the Akrisha Punisher and the Korra Zealot, I think their class skills, the Full Swing and Mangle, have very long cooldown compared to the Double Crush. So that's one advantage of the Bellato Berserker. One thing I just don't like is they changed the animation. So before, the animation was different, but now it's kind of similar to Spin Slice already. So I kind of wish they would bring back the older animation. But aside from that, it's okay. It's very good. Now let's talk about the cons of the Bellato Berserker. So first, let's talk about force, and when you're leveling or farming, when you use a staff, right? So I have here +4 Chaos Saint staff for crit locking, and when I'm farming. So I'm comparing it from my experience with the Korra Zealot. So for the Korra Zealot, we have a Dark Force Tempo, which decreases the cooldown of force spells. So we can use just 3 AoE basic spells to crit lock the monsters, and it won't be moving anymore, right? So Poison Mist, and then your Fire and Wind. So Geyser isn't really an AoE spell, so it's more of a splash damage. So you're not a full crit locker compared to Korra Zealot, right? And next, also comparing it to the Korra Zealot, because I've had that far longer than my Berserker. You only have one crit buff, which is Bullseye. So meaning, and that's also related to the previous one. You're not a full crit. Maybe in a party, a full crit would be a mage, because they have a lot more AoE spells. So Berserkers, you're either a sub crit or you should be luring monsters when you're leveling. So that's about it. Well, next up, since you don't have any accuracy buffs, right? This is attack and attack avoidance. The Berserkers kind of lack accuracy, so aside from making grace gloves. So I'm making gloves here. It's +3. So aside from making grace gloves, you kind of need some extra elements, accessories. So for example, starved, right? So this starved earring is T3. It's 22 attack, not very high, but it has 15 accuracy. So also violent earring. There's attack accuracy and attack range, but attack range I think doesn't work on warriors. It only works on rangers. So if you're playing with a berserker and you want to PvP a lot, you kind of need to invest on a lot more gears compared to, for example, Korra, Zealot, and Akrisha Punisher. They have accuracy buffs built in their class skills. But aside from that, I think it's not a problem. And one thing I like about the Bellato Berserker, you're not really obliged to always get a spear or a lance, because since you're not always going to get your maximum attack in, because you only have one class skill which increases your critical chance, you can use swords, axe, or whatever you want to use. Compared to a Zealot, Korra, you're almost always expected to be using a lance, because you're kind of wasting the advantage of your class if you're not using a spear or a lance. So for Berserkers, it's more flexible, right? So overall, I think the Bellato Berserker is a very good class. Good for beginners, also good for pro players. And I like warriors in general, in most games, not only RF Online. So I highly recommend the Bellato Berserker. And net, magnetic net, it's not really very exclusive because all warriors have it, but you can net the monsters or other races for PvP. Very helpful in my opinion. So that's about it for this video. What do you think of the Bellato Berserker? Just comment down, and if you have questions, just try to ask them. Don't forget to drop a like if you guys like the video. Subscribe for more content. My name's Christian, and I'll see you again next time.